Greetings and welcome. This is the New Thought Media Network. I'm Ken Ludwig, and you are watching the Vibrant Living Hour. Hope this day finds you healthy, happy, and thriving and living your best life in every single possible way that you can. Just knowing that you're enjoying everything, that you're enjoying the world. It's a Thursday, as always. It's 4 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm here to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Anything. Anybody's out there listening. If you watch the show at all, then make a comment. Send me, if you're not watching on the, we stream this on like 6 different things. I stream it on 3 of my Facebook pages. We stream it on the New Thought Media Network's Facebook page, as well as both my YouTube channel and the New Thought Media Network YouTube channel. So if you're on one of those and I don't see the comments, if you're making comments and they don't appear on my screen, I'm not exactly, I think I only get it through StreamYard. I'm not 100% sure exactly how the comment thing works, but you can always DM me, find me on Facebook, send me a messenger. If you're someone who knows me personally, send me a text message, send me an email. You can send me an email at, you know what, you can send me an email at, bear with me here, gang. You can send me, and I got so many things up here now, I'm not sure what I'm showing. You can send me an email right there. teamrocketnow@gmail.com. But I'm here to talk about what you want to talk about. This is about living your best life. This is about living the most positive life you can live. This is about being a beneficial presence on the planet. That's what this is really all about. And it's really funny. Since I started doing this, and I think it was back in April of last year, I started coming up on a year of doing this podcast on New Thought Media Network. I have found myself going deeper and deeper and deeper into my spiritual practice, into my DSP, daily spiritual practice, because there are pieces of this that I come to speak about, and I'm kind of reflecting on myself going, wow, you're not doing that, man. Why aren't you doing that? The old expression, right? You teach what you need to learn. I'm there. I'm with that. I can see you there. I can see that you're watching. Please comment, make it, say hi. Tell me something you want to talk about. Tell me something you want to know about. Ask me a question. I'm here to make this an open, broad discussion, not just me doing my monologue every week. And hopefully here in the near future, now that we're kind of coming out of whatever people are in, whatever funk people are in, I'm going to start having more guests. I'm hoping to have a very special guest. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. And I want to make sure that I have a note there, and I do. Anyway, I'm finding things that I have not been doing as far as deepening my own spiritual practice, and this show has absolutely helped me. I hope in some small way it's helped some of you as well to dig deep into what it is we believe. What are the spiritual principles of New Thought, of the science of mind? What are those principles that we truly believe in and we adhere to, and that we want to manifest and spread across the globe? I mean, the interesting thing to me around New Thought, in particular the science of mind, is that it is a philosophy that is becoming not only more broadly known, but more broadly practiced. It is something that its time is now. It's a philosophy of love. It's a philosophy of inclusivity. It's a philosophy of oneness. And more as time goes by, we are recognizing that this world of separation and division is not working for us at all. And the only way it's going to change is if each and every one of us makes that change. If you want to live in a more loving world, be more loving, right? If you want to live in a more peaceful world, be more peaceful. Things like the science of mind and the other New Thought philosophies or corollaries, if you will, they all speak to that. And in particular to the inclusivity, which is, let's face it, man, you know what, just like only love can conquer hate and only light can conquer darkness, only inclusion can conquer exclusion. Only inclusivity can conquer separateness and separation. We have to learn, as I believe Dr. Martin Luther King said, we need to learn to walk on the earth as brothers and sisters. We haven't been doing so very good at that. So it might be time for us to start looking at the possibilities. How does that happen? And I think that's what New Thought and in particular Science of Mind is all about. And I think that's what this show is all about. I think it's what New Thought Media Network is all about. And I think, as I said a minute ago, this is a philosophy whose time has come. Its time is now. Its time is right here, right now. And I guess doing the show, as I said, has brought me to more of a realization of that, to more of a realization that the principles of the science of mind, the principles that practicing the science of mind bring to the individual's state of mind, health, sense of positivity, ability to manifest the life that they desire, those things are all a matter of personal choice and practice. I haven't been doing so good. I shouldn't say that. That's not fair. I meditate. I don't meditate every single day because life happens, but I meditate as many days as possible for me to meditate without other things getting in the way. I try to make it as non-negotiable as possible that I am going to do my daily spiritual practice, which includes meditation, prayer work, exercise, and good nutrition. Good nutrition is something that's a moving target. It's always changing for me, but I'm always someone who is focused on the best nutrition I can get my hands on and to spread that. And also, if it's the best that I can find, I'm marketing this stuff as well. So you can always depend on me to find you the best products available anywhere for your health and well-being. And I'll show you some later on in the show here, because I have some here that are really kind of off the charts great. And here's my only on Thursday afternoon cup of CBD infused coffee. I really like this stuff. I mix it with regular coffee because it tastes a little like instant. But if you mix it with regular coffee, it's really good. And you're getting 10 milligrams of CBD along with it. I think it's 10 or is it 5? Whatever it is, 5 milligrams of CBD in every cup. This is another one of the HempWorks products that I market. And I've told you about this product before. Never showed you the box before. There's 30 of those little, what do you call them? Straw sticks in here. I guess you call them straw sticks. They're kind of little shorty straw sticks. But here you go. That's what it looks like. I put one of those in a cup of my own espresso beans, personally grounded coffee. Good stuff. But that's, it's healthy ingredients. It's healthy coffee. It's clean. It's pure. If it's not certified organic, it is actually certified to be raised or grown and processed in higher standards than what would make it organic. So many of the products that particular company, HempWorks, and its parent company, My Daily Choice, so many of the products that they market are in the process of being made organic. If you know anything about that, it takes some time. But anyway, I don't want to get off on too much of a marketing tangent here. That's not what I'm here for today. Anyway, I can see you out there. I can see you. Ask me a question. Say something. Hi, I'm glad you're watching. And I would love to hear from you and hear what you have on your mind. If you have any questions or thoughts, I'd love to entertain them. So part of the idea that I haven't been living up to my own vision, if you will, of the science of mind, of the knowledge that I have, in particular, the idea of creating our own lives, creating a life that we love, creating a life that works for us. I have been really clear that I just haven't been paying a whole lot of attention. And the means for that have been in front of us for eons. Back in the King Solomon said, King Solomon reigned from 970 to 931 before the Christian era. So 3,000 years ago, basically, is when King Solomon was around. He wrote the Proverbs. And there's the one proverb that as a man or as a person thinketh in their heart, that's who they are. So they are. Which speaks to the idea of who do we think we are out loud, or who are we in our heart? Who are we really here? And when you think about the heart, you think about emotions, you think about the feelings that we get from our visions, we get from our thoughts, we get from what we're looking at in the world. We think in terms of emotions and feelings, and how we are in the world is a direct result of our imagination, the vision, and the emotions that we attach to it, how we are in our heart. And the philosophy of Stoicism, which existed right around the year 300 before the Christian era, which was, a little 2,300 years ago, or 20, at this point it's 2,700 years ago, I guess. Stoics absolutely came from the perspective of not railing against what is. You absolutely have control over what you think and feel and nothing else. And if you are fighting to allow nothing else to affect how you think and feel, you will never, ever succeed, because what you're fighting is what you're thinking about. So if you want to create a world that works for you, a world that you love and that you embrace, then what you really need to focus your attention on is what you think and feel works for you, works for me. That's an oversimplification, but that has to do with Stoicism. That is 600 years after Solomon. Then, of course, we have all the Christian teachings. Jesus spoke about what's in our hearts, not what comes out of our mouths. And we fast forward into the beginnings of New Thought, if you will, into the Transcendentalists in the late 1800s, early 1900s, the Emersons, the Thoreaus, the Brownings, so many other people that were considered part of the Transcendentalist movement. And they all spoke in terms of, if you want to create a better, different, more exciting, more vibrant, or continued greatness that's going on right now in your life, if you want to do all those things, it all has to do every bit with what you envision, what you see, what is in your mind's eye, and how does that make you feel? So you get to a point where you start to see the continuum here. It's going along little by little by little. We come closer to our present day lives, and we have the Bruce Liptons, the Joe Dispenzas, the Lynn McTaggarts, the Greg Bradens of the world, telling us without question or a doubt that all of these things that have been told us in the past around visualization, imagination, and emotion, they are all the ways we create our lives. Back up a little bit. Of course, after the Transcendentalists, you have the Ernest Holmes of the world, the Florence Scovel Shins, the Neville Goddards, all of those people who spoke to the idea that you create the life that you want by virtue of your beliefs, your imagination, and your emotions, and in particular, emotions. Joe Dispenza explains very distinctly, when you experience something or envision something to the point where you actually get an emotional charge to it, then that is creating a memory, and you're creating a memory of something that hasn't even happened yet, but you can call that up and continue to draw that memory into your reality as part of your experience. I'm oversimplifying, of course, again. Anything and everything you want to read from Dr. Joe Dispenza, read it and you'll get the idea. Read Creative Visualization from Shakti Gawain. That book's got to be 40 years old if it's a minute. One of the first ones I read. It's all about keeping ourselves in tune with ourselves, so that your thoughts, your words, and your actions are in alignment. They're in harmony with one another. It was Gandhi who said happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. That's happiness. It's also the pathway to making sure that the life that you desire is what you are attracting to you. Because so often, we go back to the biblical thing, as a man is in his heart, so is he. The truth is that if what is in your heart is different from what's coming out of your mouth, you're in antagonistic relationship with yourself. Whatever it is you truly desire in your heart is being negated by what comes out of your mouth if it's not in harmony, if it's not in alignment, congruent with what's going on in your heart. There's, a whole science of that in heart math. It's the same kind of thing. Recently, I had this is very interesting. A trainer in my industry, in the network marketing industry, a guy by the name of Ray Higdon. Ray Higdon started talking. He was doing a training, and he was talking about your belief system and talking about what you truly believe and follow up on. In other words, treat and move your feet, we would say in New Thought. That is what your reality will be. And he referenced Neville Goddard several times. Most, people in New Thought maybe you've only heard of Neville. That's who Neville Goddard is. Neville, what was it? Neville Lancelot Goddard. He lived from 1905 to 1972. So really not that long ago. I mean, he was still alive 40 years ago. Sorry, 50 years ago. And he spoke all the time from a biblical perspective, more often than not, around the idea that if we do not embrace emotionally what it is we are picturing that we want, we will never, ever have it. It will never come to pass if it's just a fleeting thought. Joe Dispenza always said in meditation, if you promise yourself you will not get up from that meditation until you are a different person than the person who sat down, that is someone who is absolutely embracing what it is you claim to desire or require and desire. Now, I think Goddard was, in some senses, he was a contemporary of Holmes. Ernest Holmes lived from 1887 to 1960. He died at 73 in 1960, but they lived at the exact same time in history. So I'm thinking they knew each other because they spoke so much of the same thing. And I've got, one of my dearest friends in the world just put up a heart here, Eniko Baker. And Eniko, if you're watching, I just want you to know that I'm going to have you on the show as a guest because you are an extraordinary example to me of someone who is living their best life. Someone who is embracing everything it is that they want and stepping into it and doing it. And you are, without question or doubt, creating an emotional memory to what it is you're going to experience next. And I have no doubt about that. I've been watching. This lady is a dear friend of mine, and we're in the same industry. We're on the same team in this network marketing business. And I will have her on. Eniko Baker. She's if you're somebody's listening to me and you want to follow one of the most extraordinary people you'll ever follow on Instagram, find Eniko Baker and watch her grow into everything social media can become and can do for you. Because she's really literally my role model when it comes to how to use social media to expand your business, your connections, your life, whatever it is. So anyway, back to Goddard and Holmes. They had to be contemporaries in one way, shape, or form. They were both influenced, of course, by the Transcendentalists. They were both influenced by the confluence of all the great mystical traditions of all the great religions of the world, so that they had a metaphysical sense that everything was the same, that there is a oneness, that there is a connectivity in everything. Everything is everything. It is all connected. It is said that Albert Einstein died a broken man because he was looking for the theory of everything and he could never find it. I think the theory of everything is one word. It's consciousness. Consciousness is everything. Consciousness is the vibration that is the universe. Everything is energy. In that energy, there is a volitional nature to that energy, which is consciousness. Each and every one of us is participating in that consciousness to the degree that we have become aware of it and are using it. And by that, I mean, go back to your daily spiritual practice. What are you doing to absolutely feel what it is you want to experience in this life? And in my workshop, Rewire Your Brain, I always taught that if you really want to create an emotional roadmap to what it is you truly want in this life, engage your senses. Whatever you want to experience in your life, get a clear picture, and whatever you do, don't look at it, look from it. Do you get the difference there? The great example is, okay, back to my business, all right? So often we do recognition when we have our conventions and you walk across the stage. Don't ever picture yourself walking across the stage. Picture you on the stage looking out at the audience. That's how you create that emotional memory. How does that feel? How does that feel? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? What does it feel like? Everything has a connection to all five of your senses. You can see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, and feel it. Always. Now, you may have to take a giant leap into what does it feel like? Maybe it feels like, I don't know, use that same example, maybe a hug from an upline person on stage. But you are looking at that person. You're not over here watching you hug that person. You are you hugging that person. You're looking into their eyes. You're feeling their hug. That's how it feels. That's how it sounds. That's what it looks like. That's what you hear. I remember the last convention I was at, latter part of last year, one of my favorite people in the world, who was my upline person with My Daily Choice, she was up right at the edge of the stage taking pictures of me, screaming out my Instagram handle, Evolving Hippie. And that's how it sounded to me. And I see her. When I think about me on that stage, I don't picture me on the stage. I see Dana in front of me taking pictures of me. That's experiencing the emotional memory. Now, that was what actually happened. But in order to get to that place, that same picture has to be developing in my mind before it happens. My beloved Lisa and I are now looking for a home here in North Carolina. And it's really, really a challenge. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But we're looking for a home here in North Carolina. And there's a lot of people looking for homes here in North Carolina. And the price ranges are really extraordinary. And there are prices lower than what I ever even possibly expected. Now, some of them are unbelievable. You better be, 30 years younger than me and ready to spend all your spare time putting up drywall or doing plumbing or something, electrical, whatever. But some of them are extraordinary. Now we're having a little challenge that we can't get to those houses we're looking at, that area where we're looking. And because of that, I'm spending a lot more time in my daily practice in the house of my dreams, looking out at the screened-in porch, at half acre of yard, at the 2-car garage. I'm looking at an enormous master bedroom with a master bath. And I keep being told that we are no longer saying master bedroom and master bath. It is the primary. I'll get it through my thick skull sooner or later. There's a lot of those things. I don't know if that's simply something from the South or what it is, but there's a lot of those things that are really different. Just different. Another country, or someone's here in the United States, but I can see the name is in. I don't know how to pronounce the name. So if you have an English pronunciation for your name there, please put it up. Anybody else who's out there, I can see you're out there watching. If you got a question, if you have a thought, if you want me to touch on a particular subject, let's do it. Thank you. So engage the senses and do what Joe Dispenza says. Don't leave that meditation. Don't leave that visualization until you are a different person than the person who sat down in the beginning. So that I feel the emotion. How will it feel when I am standing in that house and I am looking out at this screened-in porch and this enormous yard? How will that feel? When I can see that, how will it feel? When I hear the birds chirping in the wooded area around the perimeter of the house, how will that feel? How excited will I be to find that house and to have our offer accepted? How exciting will that be? How gratifying will that be? How grateful will I feel? Experience that, because it is in the experiencing of that we absolutely get to create the life we want. If you're in business, that next sale, I see that next sale. How will it feel? If you're in my industry, if you're in network marketing, see that next rank advancement. How will that feel? Because just seeing it, just imagining it, doesn't do a darn thing. Excuse me. The coffee in the afternoon. It doesn't do a darn thing. There's got to be an emotional spark, an emotional reaction. I don't want to say attachment because you don't want to get attached. But there has to be an emotion affixed to it. You have to know that. So a great piece for you. Daily practice, daily spiritual practice, DSP, daily spiritual practice. I'm going to tell you a couple other things here about daily spiritual practice. This is from what I've been going through since I came to North Carolina. I've always owned all my own exercise equipment. Ever since sobriety, 33 plus years ago, I have always owned my own exercise equipment, except for a handful of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different dumbbell weights that we kept here in my sister-in-law's house in North Carolina. Everything else, my Bowflex, my all of my weights, my weight bench, they are all in storage. So I have this issue where I have been experiencing this degenerative disc issue. And so I have embraced body weight exercises. If you're going to lead your best life, you absolutely have to learn to move. If you're not moving, learn to move. And there is so much to be said for body weight exercises. One of my heroes, if you can say that, was Jack LaLanne. Jack LaLanne lived to be 92 or 93 years old. Up until his 80s, he used to swim across some river or something with the number of rowboats that equaled his age. He used to swim with them tied to his back. I mean, he was a phenomenal guy, but he had his own TV show in the 50s, maybe even in the early 60s. And I used to come home from school and watch Jack LaLanne because he was on in the afternoon. And he had this crazy jumpsuit that he wore. And Jack LaLanne was I think the exercise, the jumping jack, actually came from the military, but jumping jacks became synonymous with Jack LaLanne. Jack LaLanne had a whole bunch of exercises he did that required absolutely zero equipment, no weights, no nothing. He did nothing but body exercises, and he talked about the joy. He talked about the feelings long before anybody ever thought in terms of neurotransmitters and how good your body felt because of what the serotonin that your body was producing when you exercise. Long before anybody even knew about that stuff, Jack LaLanne was talking about the feeling of joy that comes from exercising and feeling healthy and good and eating right. And when I went to high school, I went to an all-boys Catholic high school. Now, I remember it cost $600 a year to go there in the late 1960s. Mid to late 60s. And I can remember my father saying something about not really sure how he was going to pay for it. Now, my father made close to $100,000 back then. And then shortly thereafter, he made over $100,000 the rest of his life when $100,000 was real money. But I'm the oldest of 9 children. And we lived in a very upper class neighborhood. So, I'm sure $600 extra was a stretch. But the flip side of that coin is there was not a lot of extras at the school. And by extras, I mean, we didn't have equipment in the gym. What we had in the gym was basketballs, maybe a few footballs for intramural sports, and maybe some baseball equipment. I think there was baseball equipment. I'm not sure that I don't remember that we were necessarily allowed to use it because our high school was the city champions of New York in the CHSAA, the Catholic High School Athletic Association, 4 years running. They were the city champions. In fact, I think they may have been the city champions in high school baseball, period. But it was all for the big boys. It was all for the team. That's what the baseball equipment was. Anyway, we didn't have equipment. We didn't have the horse or the rings or the ropes for gymnastics. All we had was we would come into the gym and Coach Jack Curran, who was a legendary coach. Look up the name Jack Curran, Curran, a legendary coach in New York. He was the coach at Archbishop Malloy High School, where I went to school for 50 years, I think, or more, until his death. We did 30 minutes of calisthenics. We did jumping jacks. We did what was called squat thrusts. I think they'd be called burpees now. We did push-ups. We did sit-ups. We did nobody even heard of a crunch back then. It was a sit-up. We did squats. We did it all. And you felt like you were exercising. You felt like you were getting in shape. I'm here to tell you right now, I don't care what age you are. I don't care what shape you're in. Start doing calisthenic exercises and you will change your life. It has absolutely changed mine since we moved here to North Carolina. I love this coffee on Thursday afternoon. Anyway, remember, hemp-infused coffee, 5 milligrams CBD in every cup. Outstanding. So there you go. There's that piece. There's the daily practice piece. Also, New Thought Media Network is combining with the Association for Global New Thought, the Association for Global New Thought, AGNT. And we are in collaboration on the Season for Nonviolence. If you're not familiar, the Season for Nonviolence is the 25th year. It was started by, in conjunction with the Association for Global New Thought, it was started by Arun Gandhi. Arun Gandhi is the grandson of Mohandas, also known as Mahatma Gandhi. And the Season for Nonviolence is a celebration of nonviolence during 64 days between January 30th and April 4th, which is the 64 days separating the anniversaries of the assassinations of Mahatma Gandhi on January 30th and Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on April 4th. That's the Season for Nonviolence. And we are going to be celebrating that with the Association for Global New Thought. I've been Facebook friends with Arun Gandhi for many years, and Arun was in India until just a couple of days ago. I sent him a message yesterday. Hopefully, we're going to have him on this show and maybe even on another show, and he hopefully will do maybe some closing comments in our closing ceremonies at the end of the Season for Nonviolence. But you can go to Season for Nonviolence on the internet, or you can go to the Association for Global New Thought, which is AGNT.today. First time I've heard of .today. But you can go to the Association for Global New Thought or to the Season for Nonviolence. You can find out what it's all about. And it's really 64 days of practices around the idea of creating a world where eventually maybe the word violence is no longer part of our vocabulary. It certainly would have been part of the goal of Dr. Martin Luther King and was absolutely the goal of Mahatma Gandhi. So know that around the New Thought Media Network. We are here to participate at that level, I hope, with you as well. So next thing I had on my agenda was, I forgot. I'll get back to it. I'm sure I'll get back to it. I did want to tell you about, I wanted to tell you, I told you I was going to mention a couple of products. I want to tell you about this one. Excuse me. This is a new cleansing, detoxing, and weight loss protocol. It is called Body Melt. And Body Melt is, it's 6 different products, all designed to help clean your body, detoxify your body, build muscle, and burn fat. This is the protein shake that is associated with that. And I really want you to pay attention here. I have been taking protein shakes for 30 years. This is chocolate. It comes in a vanilla as well. I think this is chocolate, or they grabbed the vanilla. This is the chocolate. It comes in vanilla as well. It is delicious. It is creamy delicious. It's got 20 grams of protein in each scoopful, which is really cool. The really big thing for me is that there's 28 servings in here. And I'm here to tell you, I've used several of these now, and it's a very generous 28 servings. But it's only $45. I have been dealing with protein powders for 30 years. There's a couple of other ones that I market that are nowhere near the price of this for almost a month's worth. Big deal. Okay. And there's, you can go to bodymelt.com and slash my name. If you do slash Ken Ludwig, that'll take you right to my page. You'll get the best pricing if you go through me, and I'll be glad to help you in any way that I can. The other piece of that is, Body Melt and HempWorks are both brands underneath the umbrella of My Daily Choice. And here's the way to reach them, mydailychoice.com/Ken Ludwig. And there's 2 things here. First of all, extraordinary products. There are 9 different brands underneath that umbrella. And I'd be glad to help you learn more about any one of them. This is not a sales pitch. I just want you to know about this. Extraordinary products. I'll help you with them. We're living in a time when people are leaving their jobs, quitting their jobs left, right, backwards, and forwards because they're tired of COVID. They're tired of, they get the idea that they can work from home, but maybe their boss doesn't want them to work from home anymore because they're getting them back into the office. They're quitting their jobs because of stress. They're quitting their jobs because they loved over the last 2 years getting to spend so much more time with their family. And now they're not going back to work and working their butt off, not being able to spend any time with their family. So they're quitting their jobs. Here's what I got for you. Network marketing has been around for a century. Network marketing has gotten a bad reputation or received a bad reputation in the past because there were some people who were always looking to benefit or aggrandize the companies and not particularly paying attention to the people in the field, the people like me who were selling all the product. Then comes along this company, My Daily Choice. The young man who started this company in 2014, his name is Josh Zwagel. Josh has just turned 30 years old. He has created a $200+ million company. He is hell bent to create a $1 billion company. And trust me when I tell you, he's on target to do this. But his entire purpose was to create a company for the benefit of the field. And his attitude was very much like that of the one and only Richard Branson, who just said, your most important asset of a company is not your customers. Your most important asset is your employees. And in this case, your independent contractors. Those are the most important asset you have. And if you take care of them, they will take care of your customers and they will take care of your business. And that's exactly what My Daily Choice is about. I do not want to make this into a sales pitch, I promise you. But the truth of the matter is, if you are looking for something to do from your kitchen table, anything from making a few $100s a month to making a full-time income, just touch base with me. I'll be glad to point you in the right direction, show you some information, and do with it whatever the heck you want to do with it. That's cool. So I think that's about all I have for you today. I want, as long as I'm pitching my products here, don't forget the CBD, man. The CBD is everything. CBD is the miracle plant, food/medicine on the planet today. Never mind. Got all kinds of CBD products for you here. All kinds of CBD infused products. Everything from bath bombs to shampoo to facial creams to pain relief creams. You name it. I got it. Find me. I want you to know that, let's see, we covered the body melt. We covered My Daily Choice. We covered, and by the way, HempWorks, the CBD company, HempWorks is the sponsor of this show. So please, by all means, go there and check that out. I know I told you that you can reach me at Ken Ludwig at Team Rocket Now at Gmail. I'm not sorry, just Team Rocket Now at gmail.com. Don't put my name in there. Team Rocket Now at gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook at Vibrant Aging. That's my beloved Lisa and I have our branded Facebook page, Vibrant Aging. You have to know without question or doubt that this station, the New Thought Media Network, is a totally nonprofit organization. We live and breathe by virtue of your donations. Please take a minute, go to ntmedia.org, click on donate, and whatever your heart desires. I'm here to tell you that we'd be thrilled to get whatever it is that you got for us. We'd be absolutely thrilled. You can find me on Instagram at Evolving Hippie. That's evolving_hippie. That's me. I didn't come up with the name. Some friends came up with the name, but I love the name. It's a great name. And it certainly speaks to who I am in a lot of ways. That's nothing but an aging hippie. That's it for me. That's all I've got for you today. It's once again, it's the Vibrant Living. Today it's the Vibrant Living 40 minutes. As opposed to the Vibrant Living Hour. I'm so totally not attached to having to do 40 minutes, do an hour when it's just me talking. If I've got anything more to say, I'll say it. But if you've got, again, please reach out to me. If there's something you want to talk about or a subject you want me to cover, please, please, please. I'll be thrilled to dive in and to cover it. In the meantime, Embrace your daily spiritual practice. Embrace your meditation. Embrace your visualization. Feel what it is you want to be the reality of your life. Feel it in the core of your being. Feel it with all your senses and embrace it. As always, I am immensely grateful for the great gift of your time and your attention. I wish you all the love and all the blessings that the universe has to offer. And until next Thursday, when I hope you will join me again, I wish you all namaste.